Hello, everyone. Welcome to Phil and Ted's Sexy Boomer Show. I'm Ted Bonnet.
I'm Phil Proctor, fresh from an Armenian lunch with mysterious food.
You wear it well.
Right? I have my baby baklava here, and we're sitting with two lovely ladies today.
The Mommies.
Yes, the Mommies.
The Mommies.
More like grandmommies now.
That's Marilyn Kentz and Carol Christensen?
Christensen. It's the Danish version.
Easy for you to say.
So, ladies, you are performing now after a long history of successful performance as the Mommies. You had your own television show. You had a very popular talk show for a long time.
You had a Showtime special.
Yeah.
You're back doing a show again, and you've updated it, obviously, and now it's called The Last Trimester, and it's reflecting on your accidental road to fame and how easy it was to go down the Hollywood ladder.
I'm telling you.
It was.
That was the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Everybody has a shelf life in Hollywood, but for a very few.
Yeah, I always say that Hollywood is the only place you can get stabbed in the front.
So it's been 30 years since we worked together.
That's grand.
So you went to the Heights and then down to infomercials.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah. Oh, pitiful infomercials.
I know.
Oh, remember infomercials?
I do.
We were reviewing that tape the other day and was like, why were we dressed like dental hygienists?
Yeah,
it was like some of the stuff they put us in, like Marilyn's hair in the pilot that we did for our sitcom was like ridiculous. She looked like a showgirl.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Oh, wow.
We're gonna talk about this whole arc of yours,
All right.
which is pretty amazing.
Great.
I want to start where you started. You were a couple of homemakers in Petaluma, which is north of the Bay area, and you were living in a cul-de-sac.
Yes.
And
At the bottom of the bag.
I grew up on a dead end followed by a cul-de-sac.
Oh, okay.
It made me think when you talked about the cul-de-sac, the aspect of living in a cul-de-sac. I remember as a kid finally living on a through street.
Oh.
When I was like 15 for the first time.
Yeah.
And it was a psychological thing.
Yeah.
About cul-de-sacs you're stuck.
Yeah.
You're in, and
But
here,
we didn't feel stuck.
No, in a sense of privacy and exclusive.
You know, again, we had fun like gossiping about all the other neighbors. That
Right.
part was fun. But also the cul-de-sac was a safe place for our young kids.
That's right.
And so that we
As
really
is a dead end.
Yeah.
Dead
As
ends
is a
are
de-
great
oh, I
for
lived
kids.
in a dead end,
Yeah,
too,
dead ends are
growing up.
great.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not denigrating them. I'm just saying that
No.
they were a particular
Yeah.
mindset for
Suburban living.
suburban living.
Absolutely.
You were talking in your show about how you felt a little, I don't know, contained by that.
Well, we didn't let it contain. That Marilyn used to throw these elaborate. She did an Amish deck raising, and she got the neighbors to build her deck for her. But she provided costumes for everybody, so all the men had to wear fake beards, and all the women wore bonnets, and we cooked while the men built the deck. And damn it, she got that deck built in one day.
Nice.
We wanted everybody to help us build the deck, and we just pretended.
She had the big light-up Elvis on an old Carmen Ghia on their driveway at Christmas time,
Nice.
like that she decorated. They would do like soap opera parties, and she made us
And
all
my children party.
Yeah, all my children.
This was in the 80s?
And
Yes.
everyone had to come as a character.
She gave us a character that you had to dress up. So she always had something up her sleeve.
When I saw the show, it seemed like you were suggesting that it was a little square and you were a little bored, and a lot of women at that time would turn to other devices to maintain themselves, like Mommy's Little Helper.
Xanax,
Yeah.
Valium,
Valium, right?
Prozac,
Love
sure.
that.
Valium was very big back then,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah, Valium
sure
was
was.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember taking Valium once because I worked at a pharmacy, and so we always have the samplers. And I took a Valium, and I thought, this is so absolutely enjoyable, I will never take
Have
it
to
again.
take it again,
Won't
yes.
ever take it again.
Yeah.
So
I used to take it before I dropped acid.
That was a good idea, though. You
It
get
was.
the Valium down.
It was a nice trip, nothing scary.
Yeah.
But dropping acid was difficult because I couldn't always find it. It was on the carpet, and I had to get down on all
There you
fours.
go.
I think we're both restless souls, to be honest.
Yeah.
She
I know you
literally
were,
lived
but-
across the street from me, and the first day I met her, she was trying to get her cat off the roof, and she was wearing a very suggestive nightgown and was hanging out her window. She couldn't see the cat, but she's trying to feel for it on the roof, and I thought, that's an interesting neighbor. And then she started having, which is the irony, is that she started doing parenting classes out of her house. And I was a very young mother. Like I had my first son when I was 22, and I felt just really out of my league.
Yeah.
And so I went over to her house, and they were actually great. She did a great job. Marilyn's a really good teacher, but it was really good. It was like had the whiteboard, and it's what's the issue, and then how do you get to the issue, and it was good.
That's helpful.
So this is how you forged the friendship, and then obviously you shared a sense of humor.
Yes.
And then
I did do a lot of solid gold dancing in my garage.
Yeah.
I was actually I used to do flowers for weddings as a business, side business. And so I'd be out there working, and all the neighbors would come by, and then we'd put on the music, and of course I'd end up humping the garage door, and they seemed to like it.
Yeah, she was the fun one.
Now, how did this become a network television show?
Oh, it was such an accident.
We needed to get out, so we went to a drama class, and we
Yeah.
were terrible. We sucked.
A couple of bored suburban housewives
Yes.
deciding to make it in the big time.
Yeah. Not really.
But you weren't even aiming for that.
No, not at all.
So this was all accidental.
This is just to get out of the house and have some fun.
Yeah, it was not
but
in
we
our
weren't good at
consciousness.
it.
Yeah.
And Carol was doing the, oh, my darling, my... Yeah.
Oh, my Lord, dost thou need another drumstick for ye Renaissance fair? It was like everything they gave us was like that. And I just said, Meryl, I can't do
we
this
can't
anymore.
do it. No.
And then we did improv, and that's hard.
Yeah.
Improv is very hard. And actually, one class, I didn't know what to do.
And you know what she did instead? They called out, we're both up on the stage together, and they called out whatever it was. And she didn't know what to do. So she just walked to the side of the stage and banged her head on the wall. Banging her head.
I was just like, this is so bad. So then we left that, and then Marilyn.
How did the crowd react to that?
Oh, it was the other improv people who were like,
it was a
oh,
class.
come on, it's my turn next.
Say yes. Say yes.
Yeah, say yes.
Yeah. And then Marilyn got the big idea we were going to go to the National Speakers Association. It's like a big meeting, where they
Peter
book.
Bergman used to go out.
That was
with them.
like infomercials. That was a big market back
was.
then.
Yeah, it was in the 90s,
Okay, so this people like, okay, I can perform without being a professional and be paid.
And all you have to do is say the word paradigm over and over again.
That was it. And so we went. My God, being in this room was like being with a bunch of realtors, only they didn't sell houses because everybody had that look.
Yeah.
Like the women all wore the Chanel knockoff suits with the piping and the men wore toupees. And they were all very full of themselves. And
what were you supposed to do?
we decided after being there, we got inspired to do humor in the workplace seminars. And we were going to call ourselves Comedy Camp.
Yes.
With Kay?
No.
Oh,
I should have.
that's a good idea.
Like Cars for Kids. And we started writing it, and literally as we're writing the material, it's like everything really revolved around our life as mothers and trying to make it all work, get the kids off to school and all of that. And so I just said to Marilyn one day, oh my God, there's nothing corporate about what we're doing.
Right.
It should just be Comedy Camp for Mommies. And Marilyn goes, I know where to find them.
Yeah, and that's when I called the local newspaper and told them it was a show for women who don't want sex more than once a month. And they sent a reporter right over.
Literally that day.
Yeah.
That day, Marilyn goes, you got to get over here. And I'm like, what? And so we rented the Petaluma Women's Club. We set up 100 chairs, and we did our first show.
And we didn't know what we were doing at all.
Did you have a good show?
Sold out.
Wow.
Totally sold out. Because so we thought, okay, maybe these are just all our friends. But then we did it again. And the next article they did, I put my home phone number in the newspaper. I got 300 calls to my house.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, we're on to something. We've hit a nerve. And so then from then on, it just took off like wildfire.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
Wonderful.
there were like comedy clubs. We would usually, we early on talked them into letting us take their dark night, and we would get the door, and they would get the bar. And they were like, this is a good deal for us. We don't really have to do anything. And I think there was a club in Santa Rosa. We sold out like 18 months in a row.
Oh, my God.
On a Monday
So
night.
how were you coming up with your material? How were you
well,
developing
we
this?
lived it. I had tears.
So this is really trial by fire.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Throw it up against the wall if it didn't work. But they just wanted to hear about their lives. And I used to say to Marilyn, oh my God, all the comedy out there was really mostly directed at males. And they talked a lot about just I always say it's called the woman's chooch. It's like going up, going down, around. And it was like, that was like the last thing we cared about. It wasn't funny to us. It was like, we just want to hear about our lives. And so did these women. You didn't really have to say much. And we got a lot of material from women.
Yeah.
And this is in the 80s was when the comedy clubs were coming up.
Yeah, so this was actually 1990.
90, yeah.
Oh, so it was pre-internet,
Yes.
pre-YouTube.
Yes.
You had to go out for entertainment.
Yeah.
But we had 14 costume changes. We did dances. We had a ton of props and everything. It was
So you were holding up a mirror to your audience and it was working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm the one that had a son who had to stay back in his junior year. The kid gets an F in English and a C in Spanish, for God's sakes.
Caramba.
Okay, so now this is starting to snowball.
right.
So, right out of Central Casting, a cigar-toting manager
Billy
showed
Cohen.
up. Billy Cohen. He says,
Yeah, you don't have a manager? We said no.
I don't know.
And he was friends with Arthur Price, who ran MTM and managed Mary Tyler Moore, Bob Newhart.
Sure.
And so they got us
Big
an
time.
agent. We signed with William Morris.
Wow.
And they wanted to put us on the road, and we freaked out because we were like, what? Like, we don't want to leave our families. Like, we're really moms. We do the carpool.
Right.
This isn't like a game for us. Like, we're just pretending. And so that was really hard because we went on that first tour, and Marilyn and I were miserable. We were like, we can't do this. We can't do this.
Because the tour would require you to go out for a week or two at a time.
Yeah, and
all over the country.
And there was no cell phones. There was nothing.
No internet, no FaceTime.
So your family was pulled apart for show business.
So, and that's not who we were. Right. And then one time we were playing in Vegas, and Billy wanted us to become a permanent opening act for Wayne Newton. I said, Billy, you aren't getting it. We're really moms. We're not going to raise our kids in Vegas.
No.
Stop.
So I said, no Dankeschön.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then we
you're turning down Wayne Newton.
Yeah, we
in
were.
Vegas.
That's the kind of gig people
Back
dream
then.
of.
That was like, he was like one of the first permanent acts.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
That was
a big deal.
Yeah.
So you turned that down.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
Then what?
Then we just kept playing the Bay Area. And then Meryl and I, we did take a break because we were super stressed. And then Billy called and said, I booked you at the Montreal Just for Laughs Showtime Festival. Get your stuff together. And so we did, but we were clueless. We had no idea what it was.
What even is that?
You didn't know what the Montreal Comedy Festival?
No.
Biggest festival in the world.
We were living on a cul-de-sac. Are you kidding?
Living on a cul-de-sac.
My children are tardy. I'm having a party.
But
and
my credit card was refused. Should I repair my damaged hair or buy me a new pair of shoes? Yo, go for the new pair of shoes. We digress.
And they were dancing. Oh, I wish you could see it, folks.
Now you're invited to the most prestigious comedy festival in the world. And
But we didn't know what it was, so we just
Went with it.
wandered around.
So we get on the bus every night on the shuttle with a sweet unknown comic you might have heard of named Dave Chappelle. He was 18
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
at the time.
he was 18.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then we performed at a place called Club Soda. And every venue had all these famous comedians booked at them. And so Meryl and I went and we did our show and we sold out like 4 shows in a row. And then we came home and literally a week later Billy called and said, you got an offer from ABC, NBC, and CBS to do a sitcom.
Wow. Was there somebody up there who saw you? Is that
Must
what
have.
happened?
Somebody, because
Because
the
they
comedy,
were doing that.
the comedy buyers were all going
Of
around.
course,
But
sure.
we didn't know that.
Wow.
Now you have offers from all 3 networks, which
He
are
said
really
to
nice.
Billy, is this how you get a sitcom? And I won't say the cuss word, but he goes, are you kidding me, kids? It's a flippin' miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're suffering imposter syndrome more
Immediately.
Oh, yeah.
but more than most because you really came out of a cul-de-sac.
Yes.
Exactly. We really
And comedians
were.
hated us.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were bitter that they'd been on the road for 20 years and they're like, who are these chicks that show up out of nowhere and then get an offer from all 3 networks?
Okay, why the frenzy? What did they see in you?
The hook of the Mommies. And I think Roseanne had touched on it.
That's
her
right.
show was very popular, but that was in the day when a lot of comedians were getting sitcoms.
Yes. We went with the NBC because CBS had Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and we weren't into that. And ABC had Full House. We were like, oh, that's stupid. So we went with NBC.
Because that was must-see TV. It was Cheers and all of that then. So we went with them, and the producers that we hired had kids our kids' ages. So we thought, oh, they really get us. They had produced The Golden Girls, and I think really, we got in a lot of arguments with them. They wouldn't let us in the writing room. And
But wait a minute.
What?
This made no sense.
They're doing a show about you and your lives.
Based on our comedy.
And yet you're not allowed in the writing process.
Right.
Correct. So
It was-
they had
it
stupid
was-
things.
So they're just doing formula.
It was very
Yes.
formulaic and really stupid.
Yeah,
and
there was a
Well,
point.
isn't that a sitcom?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
So we found out. Yeah, at one point, she was pregnant, not really pregnant, but
Yeah.
her character was pregnant. And they decided that once she had the baby, that her character's going to hire a nanny. If you live on a cul-de-sac in Petaluma, you don't hire nannies.
we didn't know anybody who had a nanny, and it was like that was where all the conflict and the comedy came from. Is
Yeah.
a nanny?
Yeah.
Like I don't. So,
So
that
now you're
was,
feeling like imposters in your own characters.
Oh yeah, it was
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good point.
Carol Christensen and Marilyn Kentz, who are the Mommies.
Our sexy boomers.
It seems like you're having a good time.
Oh, we're having a great time.
Yeah, even through these travails.
When we said it was like this wasn't our whole life; it was just a piece of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, a network television
I know.
sitcom was just a piece of your
It
life.
It was because
that weird?
because we didn't strive for it or think of it. It just happened.
It was an
to
adventure.
us.
We saw it more as an adventure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what's going through your head when they tell you can't come in the writing room?
We were pissed.
Oh, we were.
Yeah.
They brought us out with the
Literally.
because some of the writers
Can't
really
believe it.
wanted to hear because we had silly Petaluma stories. Getting a ticket, and the person in front of me, I had to pay for a ticket, and the person in front of me was there because he had bad lamps, and I thought it meant lamps like in your living room. And they meant your car's lights. And we could have done a
Headlamps,
little
eh?
scene there with the whole.
Something that you could possibly connect in a genuine way.
Yes.
That might translate to your audience.
And our
like it did
pilot-
on stage.
Yeah.
The pilot was all our stand-up,
Yeah.
and the pilot did really well and rated really high. It was all our material.
Yeah.
So
Shocking.
common sense.
It's also so unfortunately common. And Phil and I did a TV show for A&E about the future. It
That's
was a
right, we
comedic
did.
take on the future, and I was producing. And I had been producing Phil and Peter Bergman for a couple years. I knew their beats. I knew how to write with them and
We're doing
for
written
them.
radio stuff.
We walked. I sold it. We got an executive production company because A&E, of course, wouldn't hire me. They didn't know who I was.
They wanted a showrunner.
So I knew a friend an acquaintance. He had a deal with them. They took the deal. We wrote the script. I booked everybody, Alvin Toffler, you name it.
John Goodman.
Everybody did a whole bit with John. And we walked on the set, and they turned to me and said, "Now, Ted, I'm directing. If you have any ideas, you talk to me."
Oh, okay.
And they ignored me. They didn't know any of their beats. They had an NYU student cut John's choreographed comedy bit that we worked really hard on.
John Goodman.
John Goodman.
Yeah.
And had some kid crash cut it, and it died.
Oh.
And they buried it at 2 a.m, and it was like, wow.
We would cringe because all the executives would come and the writers on the day when you did the run through.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all laughing at their horrible, stupid jokes.
Yep.
Yeah,
And we're
That's
like,
right.
that wasn't funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Why are we laughing? That's not funny.
this is so
And then the notes come back from the network and then they change it.
And they sweeten it at the end anyway.
But
Punch it up.
But there were some perks to your fame because you moved south, you came to the Valley.
Yes.
And you had kids, so you joined the Little League, right?
We did.
But it was no ordinary Little League, was it? It was Celebrity Little League.
No, so Marilyn and I, we found ourselves really fish out of water
living down here.
in
from-
almost everything we did. And when we got here, my kids were I had 2 boys. We signed them up for Encino Little League, and we get there. And now in Petaluma, it's very sweet. All the kids wear their uniforms, and they march to the park with the Vets band playing in front, and then you get a snow cone and a hot dog. We go to Encino Little League, and we get there. It's opening day. The backstop is draped in this really beautiful, high-quality fabric bunting, none of that Party City stuff. And then the president of Warner Brothers was also the president of the Little League, so he brought all the cartoon characters to stand in the field in costume. Melissa Manchester sang the national anthem. Sybil Shepherd threw out the first pitch.
no.
They were dedicating the field to Tito Jackson. And then at the end, my son goes, "Mommy, when do we get our hot dog?" And I go, "It's Encino Little League opening day. They're having tri-tip on brioche buns."
Yeah, that's right.
It was like there was nothing.
Caviar cones.
Yes.
See, this would have been great material to incorporate in your show.
Right.
Yes. But
Wow.
no.
They didn't want to hear it.
No.
Damn.
Damn.
So how long did the show last?
A season and a half, really, I think. It was almost 2.
Well, I don't know if you all, and then we went through a whole year,
Yeah.
and then we had another
So we had 20, the first order was 22 episodes, and then I think the second time we did not quite a full season, but close to.
Yeah.
So
That's a lot of good work.
did you do well, at least, on that first season?
Oh, yeah. We put our kids through college.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, you meant money
Wonderful.
well.
Yeah.
We didn't do well acting.
Doesn't much matter.
But by the second season, we got a new executive producer who we really liked, Tim O'Donnell, who did Growing Pains and stuff, and he got us more.
Yeah.
But the ship had sailed. It's like you get one shot, and people watch, and then they go away.
There's nothing like fresh blood in Hollywood.
Right.
I'll tell you who watched us. Our biggest audience was prisoners. Yeah.
Was that because they
You
didn't
had a
have
captive audience.
You did.
because they didn't have cable in prison? Is that
Right. And yes. And I think it was their punishment. It was like, oh, you tried to make a weapon out of your toothbrush? You're going to have to watch the Mommies. No.
We got a lot of mail from prisoners. I always suggested that they send back the photos laminated.
They're loyal. They're there every
They were
week.
very loyal.
Yeah.
Did you do any performing while you were?
Oh yeah, we were doing stand.
Oh,
we
a
did.
lot.
We
Because
did a
that's
lot of
the-
stand.
And were you getting residual audiences, obviously, from your fans?
Oh,
Sure.
we had great
Yeah, yeah.
audiences.
Yeah.
One time when we were in Boston and we were performing, and we got a call from the producer for Oprah saying, we're going to fly you tomorrow to be on Oprah, and we'll fly you back for your show.
Wow.
Nice.
So they literally helicoptered us
Yeah.
No kidding.
from O'Hare to Harpo.
Yeah.
So that we could make, because we said we
O'Hare
have
to
to be
Harpo.
back the next night. We got to be back in time to do our show. And they're
That's
like, okay,
very-
we
that's
can do
exciting.
it. So they flew us there, helicoptered us to Harpo, back to the plane. And my husband was like, you said no small planes and no helicopters. I'm like, yeah, but it was Oprah.
So the show ends after a season and a half.
Yeah.
Now what?
We got to do a Showtime special.
Okay. Now, was that
It's at the Tyson fight.
Was that your first step down the ladder, you think, or was that a lateral move?
Oh, I don't know. It was so much more fun.
So I'd say that was a step up.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you know,
That
specials
kind of
weren't
slipped
that.
by at the Tyson fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How in God's name
I know.
did that
Now
happen?
you're
Well,
in big
this is
circles.
like, now we're like, so we became friends with the woman who produced our Showtime special, but she also did the live fights at the MGM Grand in Vegas for Showtime.
Oh,
So
They
she would invite us to the fights.
Yeah. And we were a fish out of water there. There
yeah.
were celebrities beyond celebrity. And of course, I don't recognize anyone.
Marilyn was, to be truthful, Marilyn is, she's so lame when it comes to celebrities. I had to develop a signal so that when we were with somebody who was famous and I felt like they needed to be recognized and she had no idea, I'd say, hey, mama. That was the code. Hey, mama.
Hey, mama.
Hey, mama. Only at the Tyson fight, we go to this dinner that Judy, our producer, had invited us to, and it was literally like 12 people, and it was Don King, Robert Shapiro during the O.J. trial, Run DMC, the rap group, Jesse Jackson Jr.,
Wow.
and us.
Yeah. And
So we're talking to Run DMC, and this one, blank.
I don't know. She's trying to say, hey, mama. And I'm looking all around the room.
I said, oh, my God. I'm going, hey, mama, nothing.
Nothing.
But you got intimate with Don King, didn't
Yes,
you?
I did. I did intimate. No.
No, clearly it's like that Judy comes over to me and she goes, what is Marilyn doing? I said, looks like she's running her hands through Don King's hair. And, you know,
Vertically.
yes.
Vertically. I was getting his hair as tall as I could.
All the way to heaven, baby.
Yeah.
She loved Aquanet back in the day when in the 60s.
Yeah.
And I could just see she was wishing she had it in her pocket
Yeah.
to just spray it all up.
Yeah. And he was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, he
yeah.
was more than cool. He was digging her.
Oh.
But I never recognize anybody. Jeffrey Dahmer can walk right past me, chewing on somebody's leg, and I wouldn't get it.
yeah.
You're in Vegas for this fight. Now, this is the infamous fight
Yes.
Oh, this is the Tyson Holyfield fight.
when Tyson bit off Holyfield's
yes.
ear.
Yes. So we were ringside. Marilyn and I are ringside. And we got there and our husbands were with us too.
That's
And,
hilarious. Just the thought of you two.
Yeah. Like hardly the demographic they're looking for, right?
Yeah.
And, they're,
But it was Judy. It was the producer
Right.
who got us
But
in the
still.
front. Yeah.
and the taxi driver says, we ended up telling the taxi driver we had ringside seats. He's, oh, if you want to sell those tickets, I could sell them probably for $10,000 a piece. And my husband looks at me and I'm like, don't even think about it. We're not going to show up and have Judy sitting next to God knows who. Yeah, Carol sold us your tickets.
Did you see that happen? Were you watching that moment?
Yes, we were ringside, and literally he spit out the ear, narrowly missing the cute little Hawaiian dress I was wearing, and then we had to leave
Jeez.
because all hell broke loose.
Because he got
after that.
disqualified.
Right.
Yeah, and the audience went crazy.
Because they'd spent all this money to go to the
Yeah, for
fight,
a
and then
fight.
it ended in the third round, so
That's
people were
right.
ticked off. And so they started throwing food and drinks and screaming obscenities, and so the whole place got tense and in a weird vibe. And so we were like, our husbands were like, we're out of here.
Come on, a fight in Vegas, that kind of money,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother
was
aspect of
big.
human nature.
Yeah.
And it attracts a certain audience.
Yeah.
And instead, they got an earring.
My wife and I were coming home one evening we park on the street, and there was one spot open, and I needed to take it, but there was a guy sitting on the tailgate of an SUV, like a car, and he's intently looking at his screen on his phone, and his legs are hanging off, and I don't want to crush his legs. And so I'm being very careful, and as I'm doing that, he looks at me and goes, "Go ahead, park." He gets very just really anxious, and I do. He goes, "No, it's fine." And I get out of the car, and I say, "I recognize that. It was Floyd Mayweather."
Oh, my God.
I go in the house, and I go, "Wait a minute," because I'm also the same way about celebrities. Was that? And I go, "Yeah." And I read real quickly online, that everybody was ridiculing him for a comeback. He wanted to win his 50th and come out of retirement the third time to win his 50th fight. So I got to walk the dog. So I go out there and walk the dog, and I say, "Are you Floyd?" He goes, "Yeah, man." I said, "What are you doing here?"
What are you doing in front of our house?
He's all by himself. Yeah. He goes, "Oh, I love this neighborhood, man. I come here, I just love this neighborhood. Nobody bothers me." I said, "Sorry." And he said, "My sister lives in the marina, and everybody always comes around and grabs at me." And I said, "Hey, listen," I said, it's our secret, and welcome to the neighborhood, and can I get you anything to drink?" Or he goes, "No, that's cool." He goes, "Come here." He goes, "Come here." And he comes over, and he's watching YouTube videos of
him.
Conor. No, of Conor McGregor.
Oh.
And he's going, "This punk ass. I'm going to kick this punk ass.
Is this the
I'm going
Irish-
to kick
was
his
this the
ass. I'm going to
Irish
kick
guy?
his
He's
Yes.
Irish, right?
Yes." And he said, bet on me, as I'm leaving. And I said, "Okay." And I'm walking away. He goes, "Come here. You want a selfie?" And I said, "Sure." So we take a selfie.
Oh, that's cute.
And he was so sweet.
Yeah.
And everybody was laughing at him. A year later, he made it happen.
Yeah, he did.
He made $300 million.
On that fight.
And he's sitting in the back of that car dreaming it up. And I realized the dynamics of the fight industry is
That's a real competitor.
incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So when we went to the fight, we were leaving, and then we're in this corridor that connects the casino and the MGM Grand Arena.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you hear this pop, which clearly was gunfire. And then,
Later they said, "Oh no, they were just popping champagne bottles."
which was BS.
It wasn't.
Because a champagne cork sounds like a gunshot.
And so literally in that court, thousands of people who were leaving the fight turn around and run in the opposite direction.
Nice.
And the adrenaline is like running through me, and I'm just thinking, I don't want to die in Vegas. And
At a fight.
Yeah, and Marilyn and her husband scooped behind this big marble pillar smartly.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was not so clear-headed. And so I dove through a big open window of an Italian restaurant because it was the first opening I saw. And there was a window box out front, and I dove and did a ninja roll on a spaghetti bolognese for 4. And then I ended up in the kitchen, and my husband was like, why didn't you just take the door? And I'm like, I don't know, I didn't see the door. And then he asked me if I got any breadsticks. And I was just like, and I went back the next day, the window box was gone because I had just mowed
You
it down.
destroyed it. What was that about? Who did you ever find out?
We heard
No.
that they would comp a lot of
Gangs.
gang members.
Wow.
And that they wanted to rob the casino, so they shot
Oh, my
blanks.
God. Oh.
And then what they did was they locked the doors to the casino. Like, you can't get in or out. And then what they do is they tip all the tables with the chips into the pit because they know that they're trying to create chaos. And so all those chips and everything go into the pit, and then they cover it all up, and then they...
That sounds like a great night out.
It was wild.
So
we did the Showtime special, and then the Showtime special begot the talk show.
The Showtime special was your material.
Yes.
So you got to do
our
your thing.
material,
Yes.
Okay.
and it was fun.
So that was satisfying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it still available? Can people see it?
Yeah, it's actually on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, I
yeah,
think,
it's on
yeah.
YouTube.
Great.
Oh, cool. And from there, you got a talk show
Yes.
Yeah, on ABC.
on ABC.
Because the president of NBC Television actually ended up going to Viacom. He just always was a big supporter and believer in us. He signed us at NBC, and then he moved over to Viacom and said this would be a great talk show. And so we did a deal with Viacom and ABC, and then we did
what
that.
was the name of the show?
Carolyn Marilyn.
Carolyn Marilyn, yeah.
Real.
It was like 10 in the morning. Was it 10 in the morning?
So-
Yeah, 10 in the morning.
Was it syndicated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Marilyn and I were in Little Italy in New York one day, and we're walking down the street, and I kind of spy out of my private eye. I see JFK Jr., the cute one, with his wife, and they're eating dinner.
Code word?
And, I didn't have a chance to hey mama her.
But I was just like, who is that?
And it's like,
Yeah. Hey, Mama.
and of course, I'm not going to say anything, but he's out on one of those kind of patios.
Yeah.
And we're walking past, and he jumps up from the table, and he comes over, and he goes, "If it isn't the Mommies."
Oh, isn't that
And I was
nice?
like, "Oh my God! How do they know who they?" This was the part that used to blow us away because we never
Yeah.
felt famous, and it was
No.
just like, "How does he know who we are?" And he said,
Yeah.
"I get on the treadmill every morning and I watch your talk show
Yeah.
while I work out."
So you had great fans, and you had a good time with the talk show. I saw
had
some clips.
We
You
had a great time.
Oh,
we had,
yeah.
we had-
You could do your thing.
Yes, yeah, it was so much better.
Yeah.
And Carol and I, we are easy friends, and
Right.
so it was just fun and easy to do.
Yeah.
And Rosa Parks came on the show, and I just
how
was
cool is
so excited.
we show the picture in our live show, the picture of Marilyn and Rose. I was actually in that picture. She cut me out of it.
Yes, yeah.
How long did the
talk show lasted?
The talk show
It was
lasted
about a year and a half, too.
and then
Yeah.
Barbara Walters
Yeah.
came back and said,
She wanted our time slot.
They told her she could have our time slot because she was fighting with Diane Sawyer over stories and the fact they let Diane Sawyer host 2020. And so they just said, "Look, Barbara, if you stay at ABC, we'll give you the time slot
for the View.
morning." And then that's when the View replaced us.
So this was definitely a step down the ladder at this point.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He got
They
canceled
didn't offer
again.
you another time slot. It was
Yeah.
like,
So
Yeah.
so we got offered an infomercial. We really went down the Hollywood ladder, and we
Once
sold
again,
walk
so
away
easy.
cookware.
It looked like a crock pot.
You could
The whole thing was a
supposedly
crock.
the idea was that you start the meal on the stove, and then you put the top on it. And
She's
you,
going into it.
and you
Yeah.
put it in your car, and you
loved
just
it.
walk away.
you could put it in your car.
You could, so the chili
in your
would
car?
Yeah, the chili would keep cooking while you were gone because it was like this double insulated. It got so hot, it was like a crock pot that you didn't have to plug in.
So after work, you get in the car and someone says,
Oh,
Yeah,
chili.
it was
Smells like
so.
chili in here.
I mean, the whole concept of it was ridiculous.
Wow.
My son, who's been helping us with the media for the show, he goes, "Ma, did you realize how much they were asking for that damn thing?" I was like,
He looked it up?
Yeah, no, because on the thing it says
Oh.
3 payments of $59.95.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it was expensive.
well, because 3/4 of it was marketing.
Yeah.
Oh, it was ridiculous. And then we did QVC and all of
Oh,
that, and
yeah.
we were like, "Oh, we really went down the Hollywood ladder."
That's a weird world.
Yeah,
So infomercials.
walk away. Just walk away.
Yeah,
what-
and we did.
You walked away.
We walked
So
away
was
and
this-
moved back up north.
So you left Hollywood.
Yep.
He did. I stayed.
Yeah.
I did first. Yeah.
Could you go back to the cul-de-sac at that point?
No,
You can never go home.
Right now, this has only been a space of, 10 years, if that?
Oh no, I think it was more than that.
Yeah.
Was it
By the
more?
time we
I don't know.
maybe
But still,
about 10 years.
it
I
was a
guess.
lifetime.
I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Let's call it 10
It was a
years.
lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I became a college counselor.
Really?
I did. I went back to UCLA, got my certification, and I would counsel kids on how to get into college.
Not show business.
No. But I worked with a lot of show business families.
And Marilyn, what did you do?
We moved up north, and I just went back to my hippie ways.
And she's an artist, and she taught art classes.
Yes, I did. My daughter was going to college up in Berkeley. That was my motive for
Sure.
going there. Yeah.
Do you know Marilyn had a business card? And it said on your business card, you put your credentials, and under Marilyn's name, it says ITSAC.
Yeah, I took some art classes.
Because you didn't live for this career. You
It
kinda-
was easy to
you felt-
leave go.
You didn't have any
Yeah, it
withdrawal?
was kind of transition.
When you were in Oprah's helicopter, for God's sake.
Yeah, but then we were selling walk-away cookware.
Yeah.
We're done.
And the sitcom, at least you didn't get bitter.
No, and I just,
We didn't get bitter. Just a little.
I felt like when we were doing our
Bittersweet.
live show,
Yeah, bittersweet.
I really felt like we had something to say.
Yeah.
And then I didn't feel like that anymore. I just felt like I said it all.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And then it was
Right.
like it was fine.
And you have since moved back?
I moved back to
Carol?
Petaluma,
Yeah, okay.
and my husband and I built a house, and we're actually living on a farm.
Oh, nice.
Farming flowers.
So, full circle. right?
Yeah,
But-
absolutely.
And it seems like the disassociation you had with it from the beginning, the genuine,
Yeah.
and not in a negative way, the
Yeah.
genuine imposter syndrome that you felt
yes.
protected you
Yes.
from the inevitable disappointments
Yes.
that so many people suffer
Exactly.
in show business.
Yes, we didn't feel like a failure. We just moved on to the next thing.
How great.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really
And
wonderful.
it's funny that you said that because I think a lot of people's thing was that when they would ask us, like, "Oh,
Yeah, I know, and we're going, "No, we're
like, "No, we're
fine."
good."
Sure.
Well, if we had been syndicated, that would have been fun. Would have been
Right.
good.
Sure. You went back and you went your separate ways, but,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah,
didn't
what-
give up your
Friendship.
We
your
stayed
partnership.
friends, but she was up in Northern California and then I was in Southern California. So it wasn't like it was conducive to
Yeah.
working
Right.
together necessarily. And we both were on a different trajectory. And then a couple years ago when I moved back, I actually went to a birthday party for Marilyn with her.
It was my 75th, I think.
Yeah, for your girl group
Yeah.
in Solvang. And on the way up,
Nice.
we were talking, and I said, "What do you think about, should we attempt like something to do it again?" I said, because I don't know about you, Meryl, but everywhere I go, people ask me questions. Like, what was that like? And
Yeah.
what was it like to do a sitcom and stuff? And people were fascinated by the story because it was such an
It's pretty
interesting way of
Yeah.
getting a sitcom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on top of that, our goal in the first iteration of the Mommies was to let women know that they're not alone.
Yes.
So we would talk about my bad teenagers or my daughter having a hissy fit or something. That they were like, "Oh, okay,
I'm okay.
yeah, we're not alone." And so in this new version, we want aging people. Like, we're both grandmas. And I'm 78. Go to bed by 8. But so it's the same goal. We want women to feel like they're not alone.
I just think the whole aging thing it's gotten away from us. I think people had an easier time aging back in the day, whereas now there's such pressure to still look like you're 40.
Because they died 20 years earlier.
That's true.
That's true.
Well, that's a good reason.
But I also think that there's things that we can do to stay relevant and active, and it's don't quit on life. Don't quit on life.
That's
You want to
right.
do something, go for it.
I think that's the key word, relevancy. Anyone who's a free thinker who wants to still be a participant, relevancy is the biggest threat to becoming older.
Yeah.
And yet you're
Yes.
still holding up the mirror,
Yes.
as you always have done, and your audience has aged with you.
Yes.
They're still your material is still
Yes.
very
Universal.
universally
It is.
relevant, right?
Yeah.
But you're doing it again.
Yes.
And the show is very funny.
Yeah.
You're reflecting the indignities
Yeah.
of age, among
Yes.
other things.
Yeah. It's like when there was a PSA on the television show, okay, that said it was against women or anyone taking meth. But I heard it as math. And so this woman comes on and says, "My life was just fine until I did math." And I'm thinking, I hate math too, but did it ruin your life?
You've done about 15 shows
Yes.
in this new iteration. Where are you going from here?
We're thinking podcast.
I think you should do a
Oh,
podcast.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you should do a
We're thinking of doing it.
podcast.
And we'll be your first guest.
Oh, yeah,
That'd be
more than
awesome.
welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the stories to tell, advice to impart.
Oh, I think it's
going to be
wonderful.
okay.
I think it would be ideal for what you're doing.
I think just like encouraging people to just keep at it. It's like you don't
Yeah.
have to just sit in a chair and watch TV because you're
Although
older.
I
right.
do like that.
Yeah.
How can people get in touch with?
We don't have a website,
Great.
but we do have an Instagram account. It's called The Mommies 2025.
The Mommies 2025.
And the same thing on Facebook.
The Mommies 2025.
MOMMIES.
To look up Carol Christensen and Marilyn Kentz.
Wow,
The
wonderful.
Mommies. Thank you, Carol and Marilyn, for coming on the show.
You
what
guys,
a
it's
delight.
been so great getting to know you.
Yeah,
really
likewise.
fun.
We wish you
Very
all the
fun.
best. Keep us posted.
We will.
Okay.
We'll be watching that last trimester.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're listening to Phil and Ted's Sexy Boomer Show.
Can't believe it goes by so quickly.
Yes. I'm Ted Bonnet.
I'm Phil Proctor.
Thanks so much for listening. Bye-bye.